Hi there and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to continue Volume 18, Episode 5 of my Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks scrapbooks. And I'm going to start with a little bit going backwards. You know, that happens sometimes. And that is the end of the year Lindsey Buckingham shows. Now, I thought I had one in 2006 and it ended up I had two in 2006. And also my time of meeting Lindsey Buckingham did not happen until 2007. And it took me going through my discs again to find out that I really have virtually nothing in the way of Lindsey Buckingham photos. Thankfully, around like 2000, I don't know, 12, 15, somewhere in there when he was going on tour more often and stuff like that, I have a ton of photos. But it just seems to me that during the 2006, 2007 time, I have like a handful, literally. Like for this one I'm going to show you in a little bit, I have like 5 or 6. And in 2007, I have 3 more shows coming up, and I can't find pictures for any of that. And I know that one of the shows, I know I probably didn't take any because I had a weird seat, and I'll talk about that when I get to it. But still, it's just disappointing that I just don't have anything like that. So I kind of changed this up a little bit. Now you saw this, I showed this picture separately, but this makes a lot more sense. I took the picture down, which was me and Lindsey and I, and put this in because that makes more sense as to what the weather and what I was wearing and such like that. And still crappy photos, but I did find these 2 really cool little notifications that I like to cut out of magazines or the newspaper or whatever. So this goes with this show, so that's a little bit more accurate. And then this was November 6th on a Monday, so I must have hauled ass because it looks to me like I found, is it this one or... I was looking at something and it showed that there was a show for 2 nights in a row. And I thought, why wasn't I there? I want to say it's this one. I want to say it was like November 6th and 7th or 5th and 6th. But probably because I was hauling ass back down to Los Angeles for his show at the Wiltern. And I've been to the Wiltern for a Lindsey Buckingham show. And I've been to the Wiltern, I want to say twice, but one of them was an amazing show for Stevie Nicks's. I was at the Wiltern for the... what's the name of it? The Wiltern show with Don Henley and everything like that. Why did I just forget the name of it? You know what I'm talking about. Not Save the Rainforest, but something. But anyway, for that one, I was at that. So Stevie Nicks twice at the Wiltern and then Lindsey once at the Wiltern. And I like the Wiltern. I kind of tried to do it a little bit to match the inside of the venue and everything like that because it's just an old, amazing, awesome venue with just that real throwback to the times. And I just can't imagine the famous names and people performing or attending or anything. And just, it's a beautiful old theater. So you don't get any of that in my pictures, unfortunately. But this is the ticket. And I'm not sure also why I have 2 of this ticket either. But both were good. This was floor 2, which I think was mine, and floor 4. But that also could have been mine. I don't know. But you can see the clarity, or lack thereof, of the Lindsey pictures right here. A little blurry. Pretty darn blurry. A printed set list. And the set list was amazing. Not Too Late, Trouble, you know, pretty soon, so that had people going. Secondhand News gets people going. Red Rover, I love hearing that one live. And I think that it was not this one, Shut Us Down, was not on here. Well, obviously no, because I guess that didn't come out yet. Or was about to. Now this was saying the Under the Skin tour, I want to say, and that started in 2006 and kept going through 2007. So yeah, on this one, no, that was out already. What am I talking about? Because we had Under the Seeds We Sow, Under the Skin, Gift of Screws. Well, it's in the old noggin somewhere. It's not very good. So anyway, but it was a great set list. It was a great show. But I really, really, really love Shut Us Down. And there's just something like, even thinking about it right now, I get the goosebumps hearing that this little guitar solo piece that he does in that song just is my life. I love that song. Here he is getting down in blurry format. And yet another one. Yeah. There's something, right? There's something from the show. But that seems to be it. These crummy ones and these crummy ones. I cannot find anything, like said, and I'll keep looking, but I have the Cupertino one where I have the picture of meeting him. And then I have Santa Rosa and the winery in California. So 3 more shows coming up in 2007, and I cannot find pictures for any of them. So that bites. So maybe I'll look to my friends and see if I can borrow something from somebody, or maybe people have sent me stuff and I haven't printed it out. So, but I had to fix that one from the last video, so I apologize. But moving on to the end of December, like I said I was going to do in the last video, there was a trip, another Stevie Nicks show, December 8th, 2006. And this time my friend and I, who I don't think I brought up so far and stuff, but another friend of mine, and a really good friend of mine from California who is not a Stevie fan. I mean, she likes Stevie Nicks, but like she doesn't attend them like crazy like this other friend and I. And I do not refer to the friend I've been going to so many of these shows with. This is yet another person. In fact, I don't believe that friend was there at this one. And we went to that show and we had a fabulous time. And somewhere in the future, I got a clipping somebody got for me saying that there was a culinary benefit show in Vegas. And I just remember getting that clipping and thinking, oh man, I wonder how you got into that. That's the show I was at, because I'm stupid and I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. It even says right there on the ticket, a benefit performance. But I just remember looking at that clipping and being like, man, I wish I had gone to that. Well, I did. So this is my page for this. Once again, this photo, not so great, not bad. Let's take this out here. One crystal clear, wonderful photo, and then the rest are like, it doesn't, I don't know what's going on here. What was going on in 2006? So we'll get to this one in a second, but this one was my beautiful shot. It's not the best because you can't see all of her face, but that was about the nicest one. It's kind of cool because with the lighting you can't see it, but you can kind of see the reflection. This is going in the background, maybe from the distance, not so much. Then this photo. This is the little clipping I got about the culinary dreams, which was really cute. And it was I don't even know how to say this, I apologize if I'm slaughtering it. Epicurean Charitable Foundation hosts its 5th annual benefit concert inside the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace, December 8th. There will be a special performance by singer-songwriter and former member of Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks. Her most recent solo album, Trouble in Shangri-La, topped the charts in 2001. This year's ceremony honors Gary Loveman, CEO, President, and Chairman of the Board of Harrah's Entertainment, Incorporated. Proceeds benefit the Epicurean, hope I'm saying that right, Charitable Foundation Scholarship Fund, and will be used for college scholarships, internships, and enrichment programs for deserving area high school seniors who wish to pursue a career as a hospitality industry professional. The Epicurean Charitable Foundation is a nonprofit association of Nevada hospitality executives formed to share knowledge and fellowship, provide educational opportunities, and support the local community. Tickets range from $55 to $175, and it looks like I went balls out on this one because I have an Orchestra 3 row BB, so I was right there in front. And these are the crummy pictures that I get. That was cool to get this little thing, which also right there says, oh, what does that say right there? Benefit performance, right there. Benefit performance, right there. Benefit performance, right there. It's okay. It's okay. These were a couple other photos. I thought I had one more. What happened to all my pictures now? This one was meh. It was okay. I don't know what that is. It's kind of cool looking though. Probably somebody's hand or something like that, but it's kind of cool. It didn't fit in the page, and then I had one good one of Waddy. Well, somewhat good. So anyway, but this picture up here, and I hate pictures myself, but this is one of my absolute favorite photos myself. First of all, that jacket, which I still have, was amazing. My hair was amazing. Let's not talk about the slippers and the clove cigarette in my hand. You know, we're just beyond that. But it was obviously December in Vegas, and they had it all done up right. And they had this area set up, and I think we were still in Caesars, where Santa Claus, I believe, went and sat, and it had a rope in front of it and stuff like that, and that meant nothing to us. And each of us took a turn sitting in the chair, and I just decided to go this route. All my friends are sitting mostly normal, but Anita decided to go full-on diva. You know, we'd had a couple drinks, in all fairness, but we had a wonderful time. It was a really good time. It was kind of a slingshot, I want to say. I think we stayed the night. Possibly, I'm sure we stayed the night, but you know, not more than that. Not more than, you know, for the show. So straight down, straight back. So that was kind of cool. And that ends the 2006 because, again, December 8th, 2006. Now, in addition to these photos that I just showed you, the only other thing I didn't have room for, and these are funny as hell, is that also in 2006, and I want to say somewhere between or just before December, Stevie had this picture of her. She looks like she's gone mad. I love it. I absolutely love it. She went to a class reunion. Now, these pictures are sent to me. Somebody took them off the net, so these aren't like original or anything cool like that, but they are still pretty damn funny. And there's this one. There's several I've seen, and there's this one, and she looks just as funny in this one. But I didn't have enough or any information to put with them to make a full page. I would like to get some more information like these ladies' names and stuff like that. But how cool would that be? You went to school with Stevie Nicks, and she comes to a reunion. That's pretty awesome. And either she's having a good time or she's still finding ways to kill this person after all those years in high school. It's anybody's guess. So those are those last pictures, 2006, that that were worthy of being on a page or something. And then I'm going to kind of just pop right into 2007 with some kind of low ball stuff, but still. The other side of that last page would have been this one, which was Anita, who saves her receipts. This is an old address, so nothing weird on here. And when you ordered the Crystal Visions album, you got this postcard, this card with a little, it's a nice little promo card. You can see the nice paper it's on with Stevie's artwork. This will come up again in a future episode about Stevie's art with the signature. This is not a real signature. This is like a pre-signed thing. I wish it were a real signature. That would be pretty damn cool. And this was the information inside, which I Xeroxed so that I could leave this open. This is on the inside of the card, talking about how happy she was in making the collection of the greatest hits, the Crystal Visions. So that was my receipt in ordering the record and getting this litho. It's technically a litho. I guess they just call that just because it's on this card. Now, what's cool about this is that this was on Stevie's t-shirts. There was a hoodie. And eventually, I don't know if I want to do a video on concert t-shirts or not, because I have a ton. But I've sold a lot. I've given a lot away. I still have some, so I don't have the bulked up collection that I used to have to really kind of go like, early Fleetwood Mac, Wild Heart shirts, Rock a Little. I don't have all that. I have pieces here and there. But what I still have, and it drives me nuts to have it, it's this little sweatshirt. It was a pink sweatshirt. And I think the size they went to was the largest was extra large. And even in my finest hour of being somewhat slim, which has never been my case in my whole life, this thing would not go around my boob. Not one boob. I mean, extra large for like, I don't know, toddlers possibly. And of course they were like $55 or some stupid amount. But they had this artwork on the back. And then it had Stevie's signature on the front, and I think it says stand back. But it does not have this little piece on there, which is kind of cool. So this kind of makes it even a separate. And I'm not entirely sure this angel actually matches up perfectly with the other one. I think she does, but I could be mistaken. Because Stevie likes to draw little angels like this. That'll be an interesting point to make when I do the video on her artwork. But this is hard to get. Again, I don't see these on eBay, to be perfectly honest with you. What did I offer? I offered something to somebody for the In Your Dreams. I think I was trying to sell the signed DVD just because I had to. I sure shit didn't want to, but I had to. And it came with something as well. I want to say a card or something like that. But I kept getting inquiries like, can I have it without that? Or like, why are you charging X amount? Like, I don't want the card. I'm like, hey, dumbass. Like this, it's kind of a set. And you know what? Hey, you don't want it. You can I'll keep the item and give you what you want. But, kind of you want to keep the whole thing. I just don't understand that. I don't understand people who want to break that up. Sorry for the tangent. A nice little ad here. Rasputin Records was an amazing record store in the Bay Area. They're all over like San Francisco, San Jose. I don't know how far out they go. I mean, I think they're just California. Berkeley, Campbell, Newark, Pleasant Hill, Mountain View, San Lorenzo, San Francisco, and Vallejo. And this was 2007. I'm confident not all of those are still there. I'm pretty sure the one on Haight Street is still there, but maybe I'm wrong. Or is that Haight? Anyway. So that was that. And a little review. The review gave it 3 stars out of 5. Rude. Stevie Nicks turns 60 next year, but Stevie Nicks will always be remembered as the golden girl of California rock, the blonde hippie waif whose lazy voice and bittersweet songs seduced the 70s generation. Crystal Visions collects her best solo work, including 1981's Edge of 17, her big rock anthem, its riff sampled on Destiny's Child Bootylicious, plus some reworked Fleetwood Mac staples. Deep Dish's dance remix of Dreams is awful, but Silver Springs, a leftover from the Mac's 30 million selling Rumors, is Nix's great lost classic. I don't know if the Deep Dishes thing is awful. I actually kind of like that one, I think, because it's one of my more favorite remixes. But anyway, so that is that. And then we're going to end this note with a kind of a weird little... Come on, why is all my hair falling out? See, you know, kids, getting old is not... It's not pleasant. It's not pretty. This is a really cool article. Now, I told you I saw Mary J. Blige at the Divas Las Vegas, and she blew me out of the frickin' water. I don't know that I'd go back and see Mary J. Blige. Kind of part of me thinks I ought to someday if the opportunity presents itself, because she was a powerhouse live. And this is a really interesting article, and I want to say, not Spin, what the heck magazine was this? Interview magazine, where Mary J. Blige is interviewed by Stevie Nicks. What a weird little combo. It's cool, but it's a weird little combo. So because I don't even think Mary J. or Steve, well, I know Stevie wasn't on the cover, but I don't think Mary J. Blige was. So I cut this out of the magazine. I've gone over that in my articles, where I tell you I kept them either in the articles folder or, you know, any magazine that didn't have them on the cover, just to cut down all the stuff that I have. So this was a really cool article. Really not much about Stevie, or, you know, some of the things they talk about, you know, they kind of have some stuff in common. Jesus, what is wrong with me? They have some stuff in common, was the big word I was looking for. But, you know, it's just an odd pairing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great, but it's just an odd pairing. But I think it's cool they reached out to Stevie Nicks to interview somebody like Mary J. Blige. Like, I think that that's actually a cooler idea for magazines to do, because if you get somebody from one genre to another one, I think more stuff comes out about that, or more people might talk about the connection and powerfulness of music, and the fact that, you know, as a perfect example, because it's on everybody's mind, I'm sure the Bad Bunny Super Bowl, I could give a shit less. I don't care who does the Super Bowl. I'm not into football. I'm not into the Super Bowl halftimes. Maybe that one year when Fleetwood Mac did it. But the point is, it's music. It's just music. And it brings everybody together. I don't care if it's Puerto Rican. I don't care if it's Jamaican. I don't care if it's, you know, K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't care if it's Stevie Nicks. It's music. And just stop. There's messages to be taken from any music, and I'm sure that anybody has any, you know. So having stuff like that makes people talk, because look, we're talking about it, for love it or hate it, and I'm not taking either side. It's whatever. It's an artist, and you know, he's fine, he's all right, but nobody I think twice about, but nobody I hate either. And I just think that it's kind of cool, again, when somebody is introduced to a plateau maybe that they wouldn't be on. So that was my 2 cents kind of on this. This was a weird little, this is a nice little, like a slick, you know, kind of like a slick paper thing about Stevie Nicks being at St. Louis University Arena. But it's like a, you know, like a handbill flyer. I don't even know how I got this, but it was really cool because, like I said, it was on really pretty shiny paper. It wasn't just like out of a newspaper or something like that. I think this is the little part where, you know, turn to page 108 and Stevie Nicks will be interviewing Mary J. Blige. And then this one is funny as hell. This was out of the, wait for it, the Globe. Just as good as the National Enquirer, right? And it was rocker Stevie Nicks. I took cocktail that killed Anna Nicole. Anna Nicole Smith, for you youngins who may not know. It's a bunch of hoopla. It's bullshit. I mean, you know, Stevie might have taken the drug. I don't freaking know. You know, but it's sensationalized. How about that? I'm sure if Stevie took it, I'm sure if that's what Anna Nicole Smith took, you know, again, the two shall not meet. You know what I mean? When I talk about, you know, people coming up and meeting in the middle with music, this is not meeting in the middle. This is just complete tabloid fodder right there. But it said Stevie Nicks in the title, therefore I had to have it. So it's in my collection. So there you have it. So that is your entry into 2007. We will get into a lot of shows that I attended for 2007, Stevie and Lindsay. I have some really nice stuff, some not really promo stuff, but some cool pictures relating to Crystal Visions and so on. And I think I have a pretty decent amount of stuff for 2007. So I think this will go on for about maybe about 3 or 4 more videos. Certainly the same volume. So I hope you enjoyed that and come back and join me tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. Bye.